China, 1556. An entire province asleep in caves carved into soft earth. By morning, roughly 830,000 people were dead, the single deadliest earthquake ever recorded. But across 6 catastrophes spanning 5 centuries, the ground was never the only killer. The victims lived in yaodongs, highly practical homes carved directly into the Loess Plateau's thick, porous silt cliffs. These dwellings offered excellent insulation, but their design relied entirely on the fragile strength of the dry Loess. On the night of January 23, 1556, a reconstructed magnitude 8.0 to 8.3 earthquake shattered the Wei River Valley. Scholar Chin Keita recalled hearing kitchen utensils moving and roof tiles clattering, a sound like 10,000 galloping horses, just before his wall crashed down. The cave entrances collapsed first, sealing families inside. Mass landslides then buried entire valleys. Ming Dynasty tax registers estimated 830,000 deaths, including those killed instantly by collapsing earth and those who perished later in the freezing winter from exposure, famine, and disease. While these victims were buried beneath falling cliffs, another massive earthquake centuries later would weaponize the mountains themselves, sliding entire slopes across the landscape. In December 1920, agrarian families in the remote mountainous region of Haiyuan County lived quietly along the steep terraces of the Loess Plateau. On the evening of December 16th, an earthquake, historically estimated at a magnitude of 7.8, fractured the frozen earth. The violent shaking instantly destabilized the high Loess slopes. Entire mountainsides dissolved, sliding and rippling down across the narrow valleys like liquid. This mobile debris buried whole villages in seconds, blocked major river channels, and altered local waterways, reshaping the topography forever. Today, a massive, permanent geomorphic scar remains carved into the hillsides, marking a completely reshaped terrain where historical records estimate approximately 200,000 people lost their lives in the sudden disaster. At noon on September 1st, 1923, millions of families across Tokyo prepared lunch over domestic charcoal cooking stoves. The metropolis was highly vulnerable to fire, dominated by dense, multi-story wooden homes and extremely narrow alleyways. At 11:58 a.m., an estimated magnitude 7.9 earthquake violently shook the region, collapsing thousands of structures and instantly tipping over active stoves. Hundreds of separate ignitions flared simultaneously across the ruined neighborhoods. With city water mains ruptured and municipal firefighters rendered completely helpless, high winds fanned the flames, merging small blazes into a massive, self-intensifying firestorm that consumed entire city districts. Thousands of displaced residents fled to the wide-open grounds of the Honjo Military Clothing Depot, seeking safety. But the extreme heat and swirling winds combined to generate a massive, suffocating fire tornado that swept directly through the packed crowd. This vortex caused sudden mass casualties, leaving Tokyo in ruins and resulting in an overall estimated death toll between 105,000 and 140,000 people. Subscribe for more historical documentaries. At 3:42 a.m. on July 28, 1976, the industrial hub of Tangshan was asleep. A sudden earthquake, measured between magnitude 7.5 and 7.8, violently shook the city, triggering the immediate collapse of unreinforced brick apartment blocks. Entire residential districts flattened, burying sleeping families, blocking narrow streets, and severing utility grids. Rescuers struggled to reach victims with limited medical capacity. Under tight government controls, early reporting was restricted, and relief efforts proceeded with incomplete data. Decades later, the official count stands at approximately 242,000 deaths. Yet, because the physical destruction wiped out municipal archives, excluded missing persons, and missed unregistered workers, alternative demographic estimates suggest the losses exceeded 600,000. This discrepancy reveals how casualty definitions can diverge in the wake of sudden collapse. On December 26, 2004, tourists, fishers, and coastal families across the Indian Ocean experienced a sudden, silent shift. A magnitude 9.1 undersea megathrust rupture off Sumatra displaced the seafloor, forcing violent energy into the water column. The resulting waves raced toward Indonesia, Thailand, India, and Sri Lanka. At the coast, the sea suddenly retreated, exposing the ocean floor. Without a regional warning system, residents did not recognize this natural alert. Towering waves swept inland, causing approximately 230,000 deaths from flooding and drowning rather than structural collapse, resulting in the deadliest tsunami in modern history. On January 12, 2010, ordinary life in Port-au-Prince shattered when a magnitude 7.0 earthquake struck. Though far smaller than the Indian Ocean megathrust, this event concentrated catastrophic losses in a vulnerable urban center. Poorly reinforced concrete and weak mortar caused homes, hospitals, and government offices to pancake, paralyzing rescue efforts. Casualty estimates remain highly contested, ranging from a USAID survey estimate of 85,000 up to government figures of 316,000. Today, reconstruction remains visibly incomplete, but the people of Haiti continue to rebuild with quiet strength. Subscribe for more historical documentaries. Earthquakes are inevitable, but catastrophe is not. As modern cities expand, survival depends on the resilience we build today. The clock is ticking,